Welcome to a tale of ambition, conquest, and ultimately mortality. I'm Mr. Minutes, and today I'll be walking you through the final moments of history's greatest empire builders. This is Extra Minutes, where we unravel the threads of time to see how even the mightiest rulers meet their end. So strap on your armor and let's march through the last days of four legendary conquerors. When we talk about the great conquerors, we're referring to four men who shaped vast swathes of the ancient world: Alexander the Great, Genghis Khan, Julius Caesar, and Attila the Hun. These guys were the original influencers, except instead of followers, they collected kingdoms. Let's start with Alexander the Great, the Macedonian marvel who never lost a battle. By the age of 32, he had created one of the largest empires in ancient history, stretching from Greece to India. But in 323 BCE, at the ripe old age of 32, Alexander's undefeated streak came to an end. Not on the battlefield, but in bed. After a night of heavy drinking, a favorite pastime of his, Alexander fell ill with a fever. For 2 weeks, his condition worsened. Some say it was typhoid, others suggest poisoning. In his final moments, when asked who should inherit his empire, he allegedly said, "To the strongest." Talk about leaving things open to interpretation. His empire fractured almost immediately after his death. So much for all that conquering. Next up, Genghis Khan, the Mongolian maestro of mayhem. This guy created the largest contiguous land empire in history. But in 1227, at about 65 years old, the great Khan met his match. The exact cause of his death is unclear. Some say he fell off his horse, others suggest he was wounded in battle. There's even a theory that he was poisoned by a captured Chinese princess. Talk about a plot twist. Interestingly, Genghis Khan's exact burial site remains unknown. Legend has it that his funeral procession killed anyone they came across to keep the location secret. Now that's what I call taking privacy seriously. Moving on to Julius Caesar, the Roman ruler who famously came, saw, and conquered. But on the Ides of March, March 15th, in 44 BCE, he should have seen his assassins coming. Despite warnings from a soothsayer and his wife's nightmares, Caesar went to the Senate, where he was stabbed 23 times by a group of conspirators, including his friend Brutus. His famous last words? Probably not et tu, Brute, as Shakespeare would have us believe. According to some ancient sources, he either said nothing or, upon seeing Brutus among the assassins, said in Greek, "You too, child." Either way, it was a dramatic end for a man who transformed Rome from a republic to an empire. Last but not least, we have Attila the Hun, the scourge of God, who terrorized both the Eastern and Western Roman empires. But in 453 CE, this fearsome warrior met a rather anticlimactic end. After celebrating his marriage to a young bride, because apparently his multiple existing wives weren't enough, Attila got a nosebleed while sleeping and choked on his own blood. Some historians suggest it was actually an esophageal hemorrhage, but either way, it's not exactly the glorious death you'd expect for a legendary conqueror. So, what can we learn from the ends of these great conquerors? Well, for one, even the mightiest aren't immune to the whims of fate. Whether it's disease, assassination, accident, or a really bad nosebleed, death comes for us all, crown or no crown. It's also interesting to note how their empires fared after their deaths. Alexander's fractured immediately. Caesar's assassination led to more civil war before his adopted heir, Octavian Augustus, established the Roman Empire. Genghis Khan's survived for several generations before splitting, and Attila's fell apart almost as quickly as he had built it. So, what do you think? Which conqueror's end surprised you the most? Do you think their manner of death reflected their lives in any way? And if you were a great conqueror, how would you want to be remembered? Drop a comment below and let's discuss the legacies of these larger-than-life figures. This has been Mr. Minutes, bringing you extra minutes on the end of the four great conquerors. Remember, history isn't just about great conquests, it's also about how even the mightiest empires can crumble in an instant. Like and subscribe for more deep dives into history's most fascinating chapters. And remember, the next time you're feeling invincible, maybe check for any soothsayers, poisoned chalices, or unusually high horses nearby. You never know when history might come knocking.